Get well soon, Moxley. We're all pulling for you. I would sit here and tell you all about the issues that he's going through right now. Pertains to my mom, my dad. You know, um, that's the only two I could think of pertains to that whole thing. Um, Never had any friends that dealt with that. Never had any sisters or brothers that dealt with that. Or uncles, cousins, aunts. In fact, pertains to my aunt. There's one aunt of mine. Um, um, wasn't really there to see how that unfolded and what have you. But pertains to friends, friends that are not even my friends, but they're friends of my cousins, sisters. Um, I consider them sort of my friends in a way, but uh, besides all that, I'm talking about where from my side of the family, that whole situation, where it tends to gain the help that they need of the alcoholism, and sorry about that. Where it tends to don't mind the mess by way of it tends to do the bed right now. I was doing a little cleaning up, but you never know what all these type of people are going through. Where it tends to dealing with the drinking problems, where it tends to lead to alcoholism. All we can do is wish them the best. Hope they get better. And the Moxley situation, checking into to rehab for that, is a plus, a blessing. Especially now that he's a father, he's got a beautiful wife, building up a family of his, and being surrounded with friends that are considered his family as well, his colleagues and whatever have you. You gotta feel someone like a Moxley, what he's going through right now. Despite him being a big star, getting all this money, winning championships after championships, being one of these top stars, rankings of professional wrestling. Oh, doesn't matter where he came from. You think he's got it all, he's got everything great going on, but you don't know the man behind him, what he's going to, what chance to him being Jonathan Good. Pertains to John Moxley, you see how he looks and all, sometimes you can tell all the body language of what's going on with him, but you really don't know because sometimes he can hide those emotions. Sometimes you can't really tell of his body language, because sometimes he'll sometimes disguise it with another type of body language that he does. So we don't know behind the character of John Moxley or what he's going through. It tends to him being Jonathan Good, and to see him going through this right now, you gotta feel for the guy, and hopefully he gets the help that he needs. Don't know how long he's gonna be gone. Maybe he'll be gone for the rest of the year. Maybe he'll come back around the New Year's to see if any progress going on. Will we gain updates where it tends to AEW's part of it, of Tony Khan? We'll get some updates of it where it tends to Renee Burkett, the wife of John Moxley. We'll see what happens moving forward for John Moxley. So what we can do now is send our hopes, our prayers, our thoughts, and just send wishes to him to get well soon, to get better soon, and hopefully everything that he's going through right now, he will eventually overcome it, and we'll be seeing a new John Moxley coming back. And it's unfortunate because we're changing the programming for I was gonna say Ring of Honor, for AEW, for Full Gear. What can you do from here? Well, there was a way, because as always, there's always gonna be a backup plan. With John Moxley being out, and with someone is seizing this opportunity to get it. But we'll get to it when we get to it, especially how everything has unfolded, and we'll get to that. But good thing that Moxley sees that now he's going through what he's going through, because we had no idea. We don't know again behind closed doors of what's going on with him, or what he's dealing with, and why he's feeling this way, and why he finally decided he wanted to get the help during this time where they're building up for Full Gear. He thought to himself, wrestling is very important to him, but you gotta put pro wrestling aside and think about about yourself. Think about your family. Think about what your fans. Think about all your friends. That if you don't take care of this right now, this could end your career. More importantly, it could end your life. And it could even end the lives of that surrounds him. And that's a noble, brave thing that he's doing right now. That he's taking this time off. And AEW fully understands and fully support are unsupportive of him for making that decision, and it's a big loss right now. So wishes to Moxley at the end of the day. What's going on, YouTubers? For ladies and gentlemen, it's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to All Elite Wrestling Review, the show from November 3rd, the 3rd of 2021. The 3rd. Maybe I should enter the rehab. Retain some of my drinking problems. As being the natural drunk thriller. Anyways, but they were in Indianapolis, Minnesota, and at the Dahmer, the Dahmer Arena. Your commentators were Excalibur, Gojira, Jim Ross, and Tony Schiavone. And the commentators were giving full support to Jon Moxley to get well soon, or chance to him recovering. As we open up with the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega being accompanied by Michael get the fuck off my TV Kazawa versus Alan Angels 5 of the Dark Order. Match happens, ends up being a pretty good match. The crowd's chanting Kenny no balls because of the whole Bryan Danielson thing, which I think that's been died down now, folks, because I don't see anything good coming out of Omega winning after Full Gear, because we all want the Hangman to win, and that basically killed the story of Omega and Bryan Danielson having a rematch again, where it tends to the AEW World title. Because the whole idea was, the story was, Bryan Danielson was going to every elite member to get to Kenny Omega for the title shot. And then this tournament happened where Bryan Danielson is in the tournament, and he's in the finals of it. And basically he's going to get a shot at that title either way. Either if it is going to be Omega or the Hangman. So, but the match was pretty good, like I said, with Kenny Omega getting the win. Obviously, he won with the V triggers, and basically it was a rematch between these two guys. Alan Angels had matches with Omega before last year, which with no crowds at the time, because of the pandemic. And then we're tends to having crowds here, and it's being pretty damn good. So, and Alan, Alan Angels evolved a little more, but it changed everything. He's always been good though, but he's evolved ever since. But it was the same result though. Kenny Omega gained the win. After the match, Kenny Omega cuts a promo saying thanks Alan Angels for the first match, because he embarrassed Omega. Because when they had their first match back in from last year, and since then basically he blames Alan Fox for ruining his life. And he basically he's gonna take him out by putting him into a one-wing angel on a steel chair that was assisted of Maka Nakazawa. All of a sudden the Hangman comes out. He lays out Michael Nakazawa in the as his way to the ring, and then he goes for the for Omega. Omega tries to get Hangman, but Hangman gets him like a shoulder shot, and he goes for buckshot lariat in the ring and all that, right? But Omega gets out of there and ducks away, but he left his belt there. Basically, the story here is that because the Hangman has been teasing Joe to give Omega the buckshot lariat, which I'm pretty sure he's done before, where he tends to have attachment matches before, with Omega. But ever since the whole thing from Revolution last year, where he teases to do a buckshot lariat to Kingmaker after their victory against the Young Bucks, where we all thought the Hangman's going to turn heel, but it ends up not being that way. He teased it, doing the buckshot lariat, but he thought second of it, and we're tasting the matches from for I don't remember from All Out last year if the Hangman ends up giving a buckshot lariat to Omega at one point, in the tag matches against FTR. But I digress. But we're taste to leading up to the matches of for the finals last year's for Full Gear, where Omega and the Hangman had their best match together. Obviously Omega may have tried to counter the buckshot lariat at one point of the Hangman from last year, but I digress. Because again, it's been like but I remember I had a very good match though, where Omega ends up getting the win, which it was basically predictable that Omega was going to win because it was time for Omega to be the champion and be the Omega that we know of that he could be, sort of. But I digress. But yeah, ever since they started revisiting their feuds, the program between each other, Hangman has been teasing to go for buckshot lariat onto Omega. Omega sometimes gets out of harm's way, or he gets taken out by the Elite to make sure he doesn't get buckshot lariat. So that's a story where it's going to be telling us here. Will the Hangman hit the buckshot lariat to Omega? And if he does, with his still leading up to Full Gear, it's going to get him one step closer for that 3 count to get him that big win finally for the Hangman to be world champion in AEW. So that the buckshot lariat will eventually catch up to King Omega at Full Gear. But yeah, Omega left the belt there. As he was almost getting hit with the buckshot lariat by the Hangman. The Hangman picks it up and says, "You forgot your belt, but you know what? Here, you basically tosses it. Get your belt because in 10 days, that belt's gonna be mine." And that was it. I was gonna say this. Versus to talking with John Moxley, by the way. As I open up the show. This review of this this video. We need a replacement where it tends to facing Orange Cassidy because that was supposed to be Moxley's spot. John Moxley versus Orange Cassidy, which obviously Moxley was going to win this one. After the whole thing with Moxley announcing that he's going to be checking into rehab, was the outcome going to be different with Orange Cassidy not going was going to be able to go to the finals or was he going to advance to the finals? Was it going to be a different outcome? Well, we'll tell when we get to that main event. Because it was announced because of the ranking system, Miro is going to be the one taking the place of John Moxley. So we're changing Miro taking John Moxley's place. Miro's got to capitalize and make John Moxley proud, by the way, because these two guys I mentioned before, by the way, Miro and John Moxley. So and I'm not talking about I'm not talking about in AEW because I don't remember seeing any matches between Miro and John Moxley in AEW. Maybe they had, maybe they didn't. I don't know. I remember Miro and Eddie Kingston having matches before. Maybe not serious matches, but maybe Miro tends to have a program. But never seen any programs with Moxley and Miro in AEW. But in WWE they had programs before. But I digress. But Miro's got to make John Moxley proud. And basically, he's got to capitalize on this opportunity because this opportunity doesn't come very often when someone is going to be taking time off due to the issues. So, but we'll get to that later. Because we also may get to Malachi Black. He says Tony Khan's decision to bar him from ringside during the match between Cody Rhodes and Andrade El Idolo pertains to he recalls when Julius Caesar killed, who was killed, I meant to say. And it wasn't just Marcus who that betrayed him. Basically, hitting something about betrayal. What does he mean by that? Is Cody Rhodes gonna betray Arn Anderson or Glock Anderson or Armed Anderson? What does he mean by that? I don't know. I guess we'll. But basically, that's basically the same thing. But it's to hitting at someone that's possibly it's gonna be helping out Cody Rhodes. I mean not Cody Rhodes. It's gonna be helping out since he can't be there. Yeah, because he's banned from ringside. Then we get CM Punk coming out. He comes out. He looks serious. He gets down to the ring. I think to myself, maybe he's got cut a serious promo here, right? Which he ends up doing, but it's not what you think it is. First, he cuts a promo. Well, first of all, he was drowned by CM Punk chants at first, and then he starts talking. He says to these people, you shouldn't be cheering for me. First of all, I want to talk about two people that aren't here right now. First guy is Jon Moxley. So this is what he said. You shouldn't be cheering for me. You should be cheering for Jon Moxley because he has history with Jon Moxley, which obviously from the days of WWE, but they aren't best friends. But Punk understands having to go through. He understands having to go and go and go, to be super, generous, and eventually you have to take yourself off the hamster string. The hamster wheel, I should say. Punk says that he was once criticized for that, and he doesn't want Moxley to go and get any criticism because he's damn proud of him. And then we start getting a lot of Moxley chants. And it says, if anyone at home is in a place where they need help, please get it. Text someone, call someone, somebody, and says that there are a lot of times when he wished he asked for help, and he didn't because he was trying to be a tough guy. So yes, that was a very noble of CM Punk to mention that too, because the whole thing that was going on with Jon Moxley right now. So, and then he goes to, speaking of tough guys, the other guy he's talking about that is not there is Eddie Kingston, because CM Punk said that he'd rather talk to him face to face, but he has not shown up, and he has to do it like this. He didn't appreciate getting interrupted on Rampage last week. A fan yells out and says fight him. And Punk says that he would, but he's not here. Yeah, and he tells Kingston that St. Louis is up on the roll at on Friday, St. Louis, Missouri, and he'll be there to accept Eddie Kingston's apology then. And Punk says that there's an open spot tonight in the tournament, but he cannot go to that route because he settled with Eddie Kingston. So basically, because of this promo that I've seen Punk cut more sense to Moxley being out, Punk would have easily went into there. So we could have Punk versus Orange Cassidy, where it could lead to CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, I should say, at Full Gear. But it's all because of Eddie Kingston we couldn't get that. That's basically what Punk is saying here. So, and he said he'll find out what kind of person Eddie Kingston is going to be on Friday, and that was it. And that was CM Punk's promo, and I thought it was pretty damn good. Miro cuts a promo. Says, for Forsaken Champion, he wonders if God is helping him or toying with him by suddenly bringing, by being brought into a title match. When I look up in anger, do you look down in fear? Says that he will be champion. He will be, forgotten, and he will be loved. And that was it. It was a good promo from Miro. So Miro is already capitalizing on his promos about being in this in the spot where he's he should be grateful that he's gained the spot too. All he gotta do now is capitalize on it, which is to his matches with with Bryan Danielson at Full Gear, which we'll get to that main event when we get to Miro versus Orange Cassidy. Backstage, we see Alex Marvez, who's back by the way. He's interviewing the Super Clique of Adam Cole and the Young Bucks. Versus to Full Gear. Adam Cole first says that their loss was a fluke. Basically pertains to Dark Order versus the Elite. Nick says that they are tough guys and aren't afraid of anyone. Christian Cage also walks up. Matt Jackson says, "Oh, we have to think twice because you're outnumbered." Luchasaurus shows up and it's like, hey, you know what? We're growing adults. We can talk this out. And then they start getting their asses kicked. And then the Elite starts fighting back a little bit, and the Jungle Boy comes in. Jungle Boy is back now after what happened with him 2 weeks ago, or in this case, as this recording 3 weeks ago. But I digress. So they start fighting all the way to this at the on stage and all that, and also on the floor as well. Basically, the Super Clip was getting their asses kicked, but they were fighting back though, to a point where the Super Kick was done after that, and then we get to a part where Adam Cole gets concerto on stage by Christian Cage, even though he's got a match against against John Stewart on Rampage. I said to myself, was that really necessary to do that? I think it was unnecessary. I mean, the beatdown, the fighting thing, that, I wouldn't mind that, but that whole thing with the concerto onto Adam Cole, that was completely unnecessary. But they did that, so that's what they did. I thought that was not needed, in my opinion. FTR defends their AAA World Tag Championship because they are the best luchadors of all time. Because they are the AAA World Tag Champions, which makes them the greatest luchadors in luchador history. And they don't need to do any flips to prove that. So FTR of Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, being covered by Tully Blanchard, versus the debuts of Samurai Del Cell, the former Kalisto, and Aerostar. Yes. Now, Aerostar didn't do anything crazy in this match, which, is disappointing, but it's whatever. But the match happened, and it's pretty good. And, yeah, Samurai Del Cell looked good here. And FTR wins. Not much to say. They cheated, obviously, but they won. So, yeah, so they are the greatest luchadors, and they proved it by beating the luchadors here. And still, your AAA World Tag Team Champions. Acknowledge them. To all the luchador fans, acknowledge FTR of being the greatest luchadors of all time, because they are the AAA World Tag Team Champions. Hikaru Shida. She was interviewed after her getting beat up last week, or in this case 2 weeks ago, what pertains to being Serena Deep in the tournament, to get her 50th win with the 50th trophy that's broken, but I guess it's an easy fix and all that. Now Rose and Vicky Guerrero shows up, making fun of her, and Hikaru Shida, she's backing up, and she's limping to it and all, and I'm like, there's no point of this. In fact, there was no point of this period, because shouldn't you be interviewing Hikaru Shida when she's 100%, instead of doing that after her beat down her getting beat up, I should say, from Serena Deep. I don't know. To me, I thought that was weird, the way they did that. Inner Circle comes out because they're going to announce who's going to be with Men of the Year, which is American Top Team, to go up against Inner Circle at Full Gear, which is it's going to be a Minneapolis street fight. What I'm hearing so far, I don't think it's going to be in Minneapolis now. I guess we'll find out more of that later. So, anyways, so they have the American Top Team coming out. Yeah, some of them come promos. Dan Lambert comes promo, and the crowds are booing the hell out of him. I was more into Paige Van Zant's promo here than that was Dan Lambert, and it was kind of promo of the American Top Team. In fact, I don't remember much of American Top Team's kind of promo, other than Paige Van Zant. So, Paige Van Zant, she basically tells the Inner Circle, judging by the tights that they're wearing, that they have no balls, and basically she wants a match on them, and she says she'll take on all 5 of them at the same time. And Jericho basically made some remarks saying, "Oh, you want to take on all 5 of us?" And basically, let the jokes to us to figure that out. And it says, you could put that on your only page, I mean your OnlyFans page, I should say, OnlyFans page. And then we get to they're picking who's gonna be American Top Team. They pick obviously, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky are already in it, so they pick Junior De Los Santos. They pick um Andre Aro Vagish, I guess how you say his name. And then the final guy they pick of American Top Team, Dan Lambert, because Chris Jericho says what Dan Lambert said about being the number one team, something like that, of American Top Team. I'm assuming that's what but yeah. Oh yeah, here we go. The member number one top team is Dan Lambert, because he did he did he is the the man responsible of American Top Team. And Dan Lambert it's like, no, that's not what I said. I didn't say that, and and blah blah blah. So yeah, Dan Lambert's gonna be in the match now, full gear. So the match is set now. There you go. It was entertaining. Somewhat entertaining. Paige Van Zandt, though, she was pretty good on the mic. So there you go. Tony Khan, I'm sorry, not Tony Khan, Tony Schiavone, I should say, says that basically he's interviewing Dante Martin and Matt Sydal, and then you have Leo Rush there, and Lee Moratti, basically pertains to Tony Schiavone interviewing them, and basically pertains to how pretty soon to have a tag team match. Pertains to Matt Sydal and Lee Moratti versus Dante Martin and Leo Rush, because since Mike Sydal is still hurt, Matt Sydal decided to have Lee Moratti. So wherever that's gonna happen, we'll see that happen. And then Jay versus Jamie Hayter with Britt Baker and Rebel at ringside of the AWTBS title tournament. Match itself was pretty decent, and Jamie Hayter got the win. Obviously, because distractions, interferences, it's what let Jamie Hayter get the win. So NJ loses again because of that. And ever since NJ's been coming back to AEW, she's been losing matches lately a lot, and she's been looking weak too. To me, I think she came back way too early, way too soon. I don't think she's fully recovered, because she's still wearing the black tapes on the shoulder. That's I think this side of the shoulder, I'm assuming, but yeah, the point is, I think she came back too early. If you're told to you can't be coming back until you're fully clear to wrestle, to compete, when you're fully recover, take your time to come back. I think she shouldn't have come back. She should have never came back, in my opinion. And it sure shows that that she's not really fully she's not really committed to that much. She's not really showing that much of an impact of that she's getting a lot better. I mean, she's still improving, but she's not showing a lot of improvement of comeback of since her being fully recovered. And it's a shame, because at one point she was once a strong woman, a dangerous woman to be reckoned with on AEW, and now this year doesn't seem like that no more. She's becoming more dial back, and especially listen to Pillow before, listen to the Bunny. She has not been looking strong at comeback, and then she got beat up at the match too. And then Ty Conti came in for the save, only for the numbers game to get the best of her. And then Thunder Rosa came out, which I knew that was gonna happen, by the way. And there you go. So that's probably gonna be a program too, by the way. A 6-women's tag team match somewhere down the line, maybe. Who knows? We'll see. Backstage we see Mark Sterling with with Jay Cargill, I meant to say. Basically with her being undefeated. And then she'll be looking forward to see what happens between the Bunny and Red Velvet on Friday at Rampage. And there you go. And Jay Cargill says that whoever wins, because she's gonna be winning, and she's gonna be changing the title to the B Show. The B word. I'm not gonna say it. Y'all know what B word I'm talking about. MJF comes out. He cuts a promo on Darby Allin, who was there, by the way, watching on the show at a dark section of the arena, and basically says who is still up in I mean, sorry, I read that wrong. Says that when a new wrestler comes into the company, some people were sweating bullets, but Darby Allin himself, they are uh, polar polar opposites. They are top guys. Said that he and Darby Allin are better than the two pillars, the pillar guys, let's just say. He doesn't get why fans boo him and cheer for Darby Allin. Him by talking about himself. But he gets it. He gets why some fans boo him and why some fans cheer him. Some fans cheer Darby Allin. Because it usually bothers him, but he gets it through. He reminds the fans of something that they can't that can never be, which is MJF, and they can relate to someone like Darby Allin on the other side of the hand, who's related to the masses, and says that he thinks Darby Allin's destruction behavior is because he knows he can never be a normal functional human being. And it says at Full Gear, he'll lose because he's weak. He's not focused. He's only gonna be focused on try to hurt Darby MJF at Full Gear. And MJF says he's a better wrestler, and there you go. And he says and because he's better than him and he know it. And then Darby Allin says at Full Gear they are going to have a wrestling match and keep his emotions in check, because he's going to let his anger out right now. So he leaves his position to go after MJF. MJF starts leaving the ring all of a sudden. He's getting ready to go up on stage, but also Sting comes out with a bunch of guys wearing MJF cardboard masks on their face. And then also MJF goes back to ringside as Darby Allin is already in midway of the crowd. Also Warlow and Sean Spears comes out to beat up the MJF armies. Sting helps out the MJF armies as well to beat up on Warlow and Sean Spears. And MJF also he sees Darby Allin, and then also they start fighting. He decides to fight on Darby Allin in the crowd, and they start fighting and all that over the barricade, and then over back in the barricade to the point where basically MJ went over the barricade, and then he retreated. And Darby Allin got the better of MJF from there, and that was it. The whole thing with MJF's armies, with the cardboard of MJF faces on there, it was kind of silly, but it was whatever. But hey, I thought something was good though either way. So there you go. Not much to say about that. Then we get to Cody Rhodes with Arn, aka Armed, aka Glock Anderson, versus Andrade El Idolo with Jose, the personal assistant for Andrade El Idolo. Match happens, and Cody Rhodes got booed. Andrade El Idolo got cheered, which rightfully so, because Cody Rhodes is being delusional about this whole thing. Maybe it's all part of the plan. Maybe he will turn heel eventually, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this whole situation with Cody Rhodes. I don't know what sometimes he's thinking in his head. But this happens, that we have Arn Anderson and Jose having at it. Cody Rhodes went for a suicide dive. Basically, I'll get to the tail end of the match here. And the match was good, by the way. And then all of a sudden, FTR, they were under the ring, and they clocked Cody Rhodes with their belts. And then Andrade brings him back in the ring, goes for his hammerlock DDT, 1, 2, 3. And I'm saying to myself, now, I'm glad that Cody Rhodes lost the match. I'm glad that Andrade Idolo won the match. But at the same time, you tell me he can't get a clean win over Cody Rhodes? You got Malachi Black a clean win the first time. The first time between Cody Rhodes and Andrade El Idolo, Andrade can't even get a clean win over on Cody. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that Andrade El Idolo won. Don't get me wrong with that. But no, I was not a fan of that. And what's the reason for FTR? Well, we'll get to that later. But after the match, they start beating up on Cody Rhodes. This led to our answer trying to get in there to help out, because Tully Blanchard was in the ring as well. He basically came out there for them. Our answer shoves on Tully Blanchard, So we get the Brainbusters, facing each other of Arn and Tully, and then Lucha Bros comes out for the save, and Lucha Bros went to FTR and they start having at it, and then that was it. They retreated, and the faces stand tall, minus Cody Rhodes. And that was it. And there you go. Tony Schiavone interviews John Silver, who's in the the interview happened in the ring. What pertains to Alan Cole or Budge. For those who don't watch BTE, yeah, you should know what I'm talking about. I mean, when did I say for those who don't watch BTE? I meant to say for those who do watch BTE, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But for those who don't know what I'm talking about, it's the BTE thing. So, being the elite. But I digress. Josh Ryan says, he hopes that John Silver could kick Alan Cole's ass. Being unbiased there, aren't you there, Tony Schiavone? But John Silver says, is it biased or unbiased? I think I meant to say bias, but I digress. Anyway, but John Silver says that he won't be John Silver. He says it won't be John Silver versus Alan Cole. It's going to be John Silver versus Budge. And says that Alan Cole has been in AEW and tries to help Alan Cole out, like maybe cut his hair, change his name, manage the Dark Order. John Silver, man, he knows what's going on. He knows how to make he knows what this is all about with that whole Alan Cole situation with WWE. So he says that he had maybe he wouldn't get a concerto, I should say, by Christian Cage, but says on Friday he's gonna kick his ass, kick Budge's ass, and there you go. Not much to say about that. So there you go. But we'll get to when we get to Rampage portion of it. Excuse me. Miro versus Orange Cassidy in the AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament semifinals. Miro kicking his ass. Orange Cassidy will get some offense and some defense in it, but not much for it to But he has gained on the better of Miro with the beach breaker. The beach breaker, I should say. But he gets a 2 count because that was his finisher. But in the end, Miro destroys Orange Cassidy, gives him the game over. Well, by the way, Orange Cassidy, he was all banged up, rib tape, the tapes ripped around his rib, and all. So basically, it's a way to protect your Orange Cassidy of losing here because he's coming in hurt. And also, Matt Hardy was in the crowd, by the way, watching this match because he's still I guess just still ongoing programming with Orange Cassidy and Matt Hardy. Like, why? I don't get it. But Miro puts on the game over on the Orange Cassidy. He taps out and gets the win. And by the way, I should mention Bryan Danielson, who's on commentary during this match. I should mention that, by the way. But he's on commentary because he's in the finals and he's watching to see who's going to be in the semifinal, who's in the semifinals who's going to win to advance to the finals between Miro and Orange Cassidy. So that happened, and then Bryan Danielson leads the commentary to face with Miro. He extends his hand for a handshake, but Miro backs off. And that was it. And that will conclude your All Elite Wrestling review for AEW Dynamite. Is November 3rd of 2021. So, there you go. Talking about wrestling were 5 matches. And my overall strength for the show, I'm going to go with 8.5 out of 10. So, 8.5 I will give it. Not a bad show. Not good. It could have been better, but not a bad show at all. I thought it was still a good show either way. A lot of stuff that I thought was entertaining. Sometimes that I thought wasn't entertaining. There were a lot of good. There was some were bad, and there was some that was kind of ugly. But we're not gonna lose any sleep for that one though. I digress. So there you go. But that being said, folks, thank you for watching. For It's Natural Born, the Riddler, saying peace on the streets for you to be well, stay safe, take care of yourself, everything that's going on in the world. Wear your mask, wear your gloves. Before you do that, make sure your hands, sanitize your hands, and get vaccinated as well. Make sure to be better, be respectful, be appreciative, to love one another. God bless one another. Live in peace and harmony for us all. For I am out here. Ta-ta for now. For I am Robert Serrano Jr. I'm just saying things, just because I can, because it's my channel. And there you go. So, all you take care, and always remember, peace to the asylum.